Good day from wherever you're watching. Of course, very likely you are a Nigerian, and talking about Nigeria can be quite a difficult thing. You know that your country is a hellhole where one of the loudest testimonies people give is escaping from Nigeria. You watch some of those movies like Prison Break or Escape from Sing Sing and Escape from one of those Alcatraz, one of those tough maximum security prison. Of course, every escape, every attempted escape is a story. Every escape, of course, is a major news story. That's the way the country is. And you look at it and over time you wonder what direction are we headed as a country. Now, while you are bothered about the direction we are headed as a country, you find that there are some people who you wonder, is something wrong with their head? Are they thinking with their head? Are they seeing the direction we are headed? And they are hell-bent on supporting just about anything, and they do it for very obvious reason, and the people in position has weaponized those reasons. Of course, one could be poverty. I have no doubt about that. People are so poor that one loaf of bread is enough to sell, or one pot of porridge is even too much to sell their conscience. Now, two is tribalism. Our diversity should actually have become a source of strength, but instead of becoming a source of strength for us as a nation, the politicians have weaponized that diversity. I'm from this side of the country, I'm from that side of the country, so we are split along those lines, and no matter how far you split it, it's still further split. Of course, you can split the nation in the three major tribes, but when you get to the state, you find that the states are split along tribal lines. Go down to the local government, they are split along ethnicities and even all the way down to families and ancestries. The split continues. So when people talk about dividing Nigeria, I sometimes ask, how far will you go with the division? And then let me not talk about religion. That's another very divisive thing, and even much more divisive right now. So the thing that are supposed to bring us together, are supposed to strengthen us, our diversity has now become like an albatross on our neck as a nation. And the people who have weaponized these things, they have no plans to fix it. It's interesting that we have outsourced solving Nigeria's problem to the government, yet they are the people who benefit from the present situation. So why would they fix what they are benefiting from? I make this analogy a lot. Oh, there's a table and I'm enjoying the things on the table. Why do I want to topple the table? No, there's an adage in Nigeria: when you are eating, don't talk. So if you expect politicians to fix the problem of Nigeria, it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. That's why when you look at Nigeria, you expect the problem to be fixed. You wonder who, how, where. Because the same people who created the problem cannot be the ones we are expecting to solve the problem. There's this quote by Ronald Reagan. I think it's actually my favorite quote from Ronald Reagan. My favorite quote about government, where he said that in his first inaugural address, interestingly, in this present problem we face, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem. So when I look at Nigeria and I hear about people in government, governors, ministers, president, whoever, and I hear, oh, they will solve XYZ problem, I say no. I remember Reagan saying it, and I think in our case it's true. In the present problem we face as a nation, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem. And then another quote that is quite helpful is this: says, a problem cannot be solved at the same level of thinking that created a problem. So you see these politicians out there, they are the ones who have created this problem over time. So if we expect that same level of thinking to solve this problem, we will wait for too long. So this is what I would say. Of course, we need a revolution. I don't say that lightly. Maybe a mental revolution now. Yes, today I'm talking about a mental revolution. We need a change of thinking. But if we expect it to come from the state house, it's not going to come from the state house, because they profit from the present situation. So where will it come from? I capture this as the state of our heart, and that's where the challenge is. when you speak to the average Nigerian, you find that the state of our heart has been nurtured by the society we grew up in. You know, there's something about nature and nurture. Nigeria has had the way of conditioning, programming our mindset, our thinking, such that, hey, where will the solution come from? How do we salvage the nation? I'm sure I have more questions than answers. How do we salvage a nation where the leadership is thinking in ways that are destroying the nation, and then the people, too many of the people are thinking that way? So even if you actually go for an election, you find that somebody said the problem with democracy is that the vote of a fool and the vote of a wise man, they all count as one vote. So if care is not taken, of course, fools will elect one of them, another one fool into position. Of course, then that's what we have in leadership. And somehow, some way, we have that kind of situation around. So who is going to solve the problem? But I hope you are not part of the problem. Thank you.